Hey there tech fans, Rick here again from the eARC team with an overview of the DA-25 HDMI to analog audio converter. This product was engineered to make it incredibly easy for you to separate the audio portion from any HDMI media stream from either an ARC or an eARC source and pass that along to a home stereo or analog amplifier for better quality audio. And the product fully supports both PCM and LPCM 2.0 audio standards. Now, as part of this overview, I'd like to start with an unboxing of the product just to show you all the components that are included with the kit, and then I'll take a closer look at the audio converter itself and explain the connections and indicators. I'll list the features and functions the product provides, and then finally, I'll come back and actually demonstrate just how simple this product will be to use with your own equipment. So let's get started with the unboxing. When you first open up the box, you'll find the audio converter. You'll also find a 5-volt, 500 milliampere hour DC power supply. You'll plug this end into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a micro USB cable on it which plugs into the converter and provides all the power you'll need to operate the product. You'll also find a nice RCA to RCA analog cable you can use to connect this up to your amplifier. You also have the choice of using the 3.5 millimeter left and right port on the front to make that same connection. And finally, a full instruction manual is also included that shows you connection diagrams, specifications, and other details about the converter that you'll need to understand to use it correctly. Now, if you stay tuned next, we'll take a closer look at the audio converter. Inside the kit, you'll find the eARC DA-25 audio converter, a 5-volt DC power supply. You'll plug this end into any standard wall outlet. The other end has a micro USB connection on it, which plugs into the side of the unit and provides all the power you'll need for operation. You'll also find an analog cable that can be used to connect the converter up to your stereo. These have RCA plugs on both ends, and if your stereo has this type of connection, you can easily make a connection here to your stereo to pass your analog audio along to the amplifier. Also included is a full instruction manual that lists connection diagrams, information about the analog converter, and specifications as well. So all the information you need to understand about the unit is in this instruction manual. Now, the audio converter itself features a high-impact plastic case, which makes it really lightweight but very durable. On the one end, you'll find the audio output connections. Again, you've got two RCA plugs right here that you can use to connect to a stereo, or you can choose to use the 3.5 millimeter left and right audio connection here. Both of these are outputs. On the other end, you'll find an HDMI input port. You can connect a cable from here up to an ARC or eARC port on your monitor, and that's where you'll supply the HDMI media stream into the converter that will be turned into an analog output stream. The 5-volt DC connection is right here, and that's where you'll plug in the power supply. And on the one end, you'll find a power switch where you can turn this on and off by simply switching that back and forth. That's pretty much it for the audio converter. The eARC DA-25 can convert audio for most modern stereo systems, including commercial amplifiers, projection systems, home stereos, game consoles, and media players like Roku. The product's features include both 3.5 millimeter and left and right analog output. It supports both ARC and eARC connections. It provides plug-and-play operation and is fully compatible with both PCM and LPCM 2.0 channel audio. Now I'll show you the connections you'll need to make to use the DA-25 HDMI to analog audio converter with your own equipment. And for this demonstration, over here I've set up a small media player that's currently looping a video on this monitor, and that has an audio component to it that isn't playing through this monitor. This represents my media source that's digital. Over here, I've got an amplifier set up that's an analog input amplifier, and this represents maybe an older stereo system or an older soundbar that can only accept analog input. In front of me, I have the audio converter. Now the first connection I'll make is from the ARC or the eARC port on this monitor, and I've got an HDMI connection right here, and that plugs right into the HDMI input port on the analog converter. Now what I'm going to do is connect up the power supply. I've already plugged that in, and that's a standard micro USB port on the connection, and that plugs into the back of the unit. And then I'll make sure I turn the unit on, and the minute I do, you'll see a blue light right on the top of it letting me know I have power to the unit. Now the connection over here that I'll make to the amplifier is through a set of RCA connections, and the kit comes with a short cable to make that connection for you. I'll plug one in here and the other one in right here. Now the minute I make that connection, you can already hear that the audio is being converted. And the only connection I have to that audio converter is this HDMI cable going to the ARC or the eARC port in the back of the monitor. So what I'm doing here is converting the digital, the audio from that digital connection, into an analog output for my home stereo system. And this is a great way to reutilize some older audio equipment you have or a soundbar that only accepts audio input by just simply connecting an HDMI cable up to the ARC or the eARC port on your monitor. And it really is just that easy to get it working. I hope you found this overview of the eARC DA-25 HDMI to analog audio converter helpful. It really does provide an incredibly simple way of converting the audio from any HDMI media source that's either ARC or eARC into an analog signal you can pass along to a home stereo for better quality audio. It's incredibly easy to use. You'll basically power it up, connect it up to the ARC or eARC connection on your monitor, and then connect the other end up to your stereo, and you can enjoy that better quality audio. It also fully supports both PCM and LPCM 2.0 audio standards, which means it's compatible with most home stereos and most of the media content you'll want to play. Everything you need to get started is included with the kit, and with a few simple connections, you can be up and running in no time. So until next time, thanks for watching.